is the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. 30 minutes of highlights, analysis, and features of Alabama A&M Bulldog basketball. The Alabama A&M Basketball Review is brought to you by ARM Software, Buffalo Wild Wings at Madison Square Mall, Woody Anderson Ford, the Fellowship of Faith Church, Tellini's Italiano, 90.9 WJAB, Five Guys, Aramark, Union Hill Primitive Baptist Church, and Wings to Go. And now, with Coach Willie Hayes, here's your host, Reggie Benson.
Hello and welcome to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. I'm your host, Reggie Benson, along with men's basketball coach Willie Hayes. The Bulldogs are coming off of a tough road trip to Texas. Coach, we talked about this last week. We're in a position to really make a run and being a factor in the league. After dropping those two games, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. We got a chance with these two home games coming up, but we knew that that Texas trip was going to be tough after the circumstances that we were having here back home. I knew there was going to be tough games, but I was pleased the way we came out in that second game.
Yeah, the Texas Southern game, man, you're right there, man, with a great chance to win, not only in regulation, but in overtime as well.
Yeah, we had three opportunities there at the end, Reggie, right there at the basket. Ladarius had a tip right there, he missed it, and I think Adrian Edwards had a tip he missed, and then in overtime, Nick had a three that went in there and came out, and that's just how the game ended.
It's been a few days now since that road trip. Give me the response from your team in practice.
So far, so good. They know that if that's the number one team in our conference, and you play them into overtime at their place, we have a good chance, and that's what we're building on for the rest of the season. Is give yourself a chance going down the stretch here. You know, you still got a chance. You're only 4 games back out of first place, but you got to give yourself a chance and get you a good seed in that tournament.
Now, give me the plan. I mean, obviously, you're trying to stay in the top 4 to avoid playing on the first day, correct?
Yes, that's what you want. You want to stay in that top 4 so you can kind of, avoid that number 1 and number 2 team as much as possible. So if you can stay in that top 4, top 5, I think it would give ourselves a great chance.
It's kind of a log jam. A lot of teams right there at 4 and 5 with you.
Yeah, a lot of teams. We got at least 3 or 4 teams right there tied for 4th. The good thing about it, we're home this weekend, and you just got to take care of home. You take care of home, and try to split on the road down the stretch here. We got five on the road and 4 at home. You try to win those home games and try to split 1 or 2 on the road, and you're sitting good.
Talk about the health of your basketball team. I know Nick came back. Any recurrences from the ankle situation?
No, you still a little rusty there, but he's starting to get that rhythm back, and that's what you need for him to get back in his rhythm. He was leading the conference in rebounding. I think Ladarius has topped him right now, so we're 1 and 2 in rebounding. So he's starting to get his little niche back and starting to get up and down the floor, and that's what you need from him.
This team needs to play at home and needs a great crowd to play in front of at home too.
Yeah, we need that. We need that home crowd. Being on the road. It was a little tough for the emotion-wise, but I think our kids, they need that home feeling to get us going down the stretch here.
When we come back, we'll talk about A&M's road trip to Texas. Thanks for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review.
Brandon lights up the court every game. Soon, he'll do it as an electrical engineer. Jordan specializes in logistics and supply chain management, on and off the field. Ashley's been schooling players at the net and student teaching in the classroom. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
Welcome to the Union Hill Primitive Baptist Church, where we believe that our God-given vision is to be determined and steadfast in our commitment to proclaiming the Word of God. Join us on Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. for morning worship, and take advantage of our weekly Bible study options with studies on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m., Wednesdays at 12 p.m., or Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Once again, we welcome you to Union Hill Primitive Baptist Church, where our mission is proclaiming the gospel to the lost world, producing mature disciples, and providing for the non-spiritual needs of the people.
Welcome back to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. The Bulldogs travel to Prairie View, Texas to take on Prairie View A&M and your good buddy Byron Rim. Coach, this was a team that had really started playing well once you went to Texas, and they played well against you guys as well.
Yeah, they played well. I knew that that was going to be a tough game for us. I knew we was going to have an emotional letdown. I didn't know when that game was going to come, and it just so happened to be that game against Prairie View. And I look back at it, that was the first game after the homegoing service of Coach Wright, and I think the emotions, even the day or so practice before we left, you can kind of see the energy was down. And when we got there, they did a good gesture. They wanted to say something about Coach Wright and have a moment of silence. But in effect, I think that affected us more than anything, because once they did the moment of silence, I could see the kids' head drop, and I knew then that was going to be a tough game.
At home, you guys had that support.
You had that support. You had the crowd behind you to root you on. When they were feeling down, you had that crowd behind you. That's why you wanted to play at home during this time. But, you had to go on the road. And they wanted to do something, that moment of silence, which was good. But for us, it wasn't good, because it was kind of a letdown, and that emotion hit them. And we just never were in that game. Just never had a chance in that game.
You scored the first 4 points of the game. It seems like it went all downhill after that.
Yeah, it just went downhill. The energy level left. And I give Prairie credit. They did what they needed to do to get that lead. It just seemed like we was walking in mud. Yeah. We couldn't hold the ball. We couldn't stay in front of anyone. We couldn't rebound. It's just one of them games, nothing was going right. We came out the second half, made a little run there, but then you saw that energy drop back down again. So that was just one of them games that we just was not ready for in that game.
Didn't shoot it well from the field, didn't shoot it well from three-point range, not from the line. I mean, just everything went wrong that night.
Everything went wrong. The turnovers, the defensive end, we went from man to zone. We just could never get our rhythm going, just could never get going, and that was just a tough game for us, and you keep looking at that clock and you're looking at the score, you're just saying to yourself, just keep battling. Like I kept telling the guys, just keep battling, it's going to turn, we'll make a run, and they'll make a run, and we just wanted to just finish that game on a high, and we did make a little run at the end, and I think that carried us over into that Texas Southern game.
Could this be one of Prairie's better teams? I mean, they had all 5 starters in double figures, they shoot over 50%. Montreal Scott kid had a huge game, so is this one of their better teams perhaps you play?
No, I think last year was one of their better teams to me. Okay. This team here is way up balanced, but last year I think they had a predominant scorer last year. This year's team, I haven't played them on the road, just watching them on teams on the road, they struggle. Yeah. So, when you're playing in this league here, you don't want to struggle on the road. Yeah. You want to at least split on the road. So I'm not going to say this is probably one of their best teams that they had. They have some good guards that are shooting the ball well right now.
Look, I know we talked about Tab, but Tab, has another great game. I mean, he's the SWAC Player of the Week, second week in a row, 4 times so far. The guy just comes and does it every night.
Every night. He was one of the bright spots in that game there. Didn't shoot a great percentage, but he was one of the guys that still played with energy throughout that game. I think he had 33 points, and 14 rebounds. That's just remarkable. Yeah. And for him to have been, after the Texas Southern game, named Player of the Week 4 times, out of the season so far, and that's the most that's been in the SWAC since last year, Murray. So we continue to look for a lot out of him. We just got to get the other guys to be ready to play every game.
How rusty did Nick appear to be to you?
Well, real rusty. His timing, he had a couple of opportunities right there at the basket, just didn't have that lift. But we needed to get that out of him. Yeah. Going down the stretch, he needed to play. He wanted to play. The guys was ready for him to come back, and he gave us 7 points and 7 rebounds. But you just didn't see that lift that he normally have, and that explosion that he had. You just didn't see it in that game.
Yeah, and then Tyler Davis showed up.
Tyler shot the ball well, but it was not at the beginning of the game when we needed it. Sure. It was once we got down a little bit, he was able to hit some shots. But we need guys to come out from the get-go hitting shots and get started, so we don't fall in the hole.
Is this simply a matter of being more consistent throughout the team?
Yeah, you need Tyler and Justin Culver. Those are the 2 that need to step up and play for us at that 2-guard spot. You know what you're going to get out of Nick. You know what you're going to get out of Ladarius. You know what you're going to get out of Raquel. Tyler and Justin are the 2. Between those 2, one of them need to be on for us to have a good game or win a game.
Well, they've played well in spurts, but it seems like they played better at home. So maybe that's a good sign. You guys playing at home tonight.
Yeah, I just think we, at home, that energy behind them, but with our fans, I think that's going to help them. And these are 2 big games coming up at home.
It's a Mississippi Valley State team and a Arkansas Pine Bluff team. Both those teams have been playing a little better of late.
Yeah, playing better. Valley has won their last 2. Pine Bluff is playing great. Those 2 teams we beat on the road, but coming down the stretch, you never know what's going to happen. The good thing is that we're at home. We just got to get ready for Valley. They're going to press and run. Have a lot of small guys out there, so we got to make that adjustment. Then against Pine Bluff, they're going to play that zone. Yeah. He's going to stay in it regardless, and We did a good job of attacking it at their place. We just got to do a better job here at our place to attack it.
When we come back, we'll look more at Alabama A&M's narrow loss to Texas Southern. Thanks for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review.
Ariel took down enough pins to help win a conference championship. Her mechanics are just as strong in engineering. Aiden is mastering psychology on the golf course and in the classroom. No hurdles too high for Raven, on the track or in nutrition. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
90.9 WJAB FM Huntsville.
100,000 watts, 24 hours a day.
Smooth jazz and cool vocals.
And the home of mellow madness till midnight.
You bring me joy.
90.9 WJAB.
From the campus of Alabama A&M University.
Welcome back to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. After losing at Prairie View, A&M went over to Texas Southern to take on Mike Davis and his team. Coach, Mike Davis, one of your best buddies in the league, but he didn't have any mercy on you the other night.
No, one thing about Mike and myself when we compete against each other, we're going to go at it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk noise throughout the whole game, but, we won them games, win, lose, or draw after the game. He know when I come out there, win, lose, or draw, he need to have me a Coke. When he come here, win, lose, or draw, I got to have him a grape or Coke. So, that's just something we do. That's between me and him. But we knew it was going to be a tough game, but we knew we needed to respond back from the Prairie View game.
Great response for your basketball team, Coach. I can't remember how many times, 3 or 4 or 5 times that right there at the end of regulation and in overtime, you got a chance to win that basketball game.
You have a chance to win that game. I knew that we wanted to go zone against them. They're big, long, and lanky, so we didn't want to chase them around. Their guard, Gibbs, has been playing excellent. I think he's co-player of the week with Ladarius, so we didn't want to have to chase them all over the floor. So we decided to go to our 2-2-1 full-court press and drop back in our zone. And it kind of threw them off at the beginning of the game, and it gave us opportunity in that first half.
That game's kind of nip and tuck all the way through. Nobody really gets a whole lot of separation.
Yeah, there's no separation. If you look at that first half, it's nick and tuck to the end. He came out with a little 1-3-1 trap at the end of the first half, and we was able to score. Then they came right back and hit that little buzzer shot right at the end, and it tied it up going into halftime. So that first half, every possession was so important. No one, I think, went above maybe 2 or 3 points to get a lead in that first half.
Right, exactly. Is that the kind of game that you expected?
Yes, I expected that type of game because I knew that we was going to respond. I knew what type of team Mike had over there, but I knew our guys were going to respond because of the way we practiced that next day. Everybody was talking about the Super Bowl, but that wasn't on our mind, nor on our kids' mind. We actually practiced during the Super Bowl, and there was no one griping about it anyway because they knew that wasn't us against Prairie View. So practice time was not an issue. They practiced hard, and you could tell that they was ready to play.
Any adjustments at all at halftime?
We wanted to do a better job on Collier. He had hit 3 threes in the first half. Wasn't expecting him to hit that many threes in the first half, but we wanted to stick with our pressure. We wanted to stay with our zone, and I think that kind of threw him off for the whole game and kept us in a situation where we could win that game. We came out the second half and went on a 5-0 run. Yeah. I think we went up probably by 5 or 6 points, but he called a timeout. Then they went on a 5 or 6-0 run and took a 1-point lead. So from that point on, it was nick and tuck to the end of the game.
Well, you said all along the game is about runs.
Yes.
And then I guess the team that makes the last are usually the ones that wins.
The team that makes the last run or makes a better run is the team that's going to win. And they made their run. We made ours. He made some adjustments. We made some adjustments. We went small there, and he couldn't defend because we went 5 out where we had all guys on the floor that can kind of dribble and shoot the ball, and that made him have to take his bigs out and put smaller units in there, and that helped us on the defensive end. But going down the stretch there, we had every opportunity at it. Rakia had a shot at it, he missed it. Ladarius had a follow-up, he missed it. And then, that was just in regulation. Right. And the buzzer went off. So we tied right at regulation and we're going overtime.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I don't know if Nick can ask for a better shot to try to win the game.
Yeah, that was a great shot, something that we work on every day, going off the pick and roll and pop, and had a wide open shot. It went in there and came out. When it left his hand, I thought it was going in. It looked like it was going in, and it just came out on us.
Were you, Now, make sure I got this right, because you were going for the win.
I was going for the win.
You were going for the win. So that's the old adage on the road.
Yeah,
correct?
on the road, anybody would tell you it's best to go for that win.
Yeah.
You know, because you really don't want to keep going in overtime on the road, because normally a home team on the road, at home, normally get a little bit more energy at home.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go for the win. We had the perfect shot. It just didn't fall for us.
Yeah. It's had he not been injured with that ankle, who knows? I mean.
Yeah, I think without that ankle, I think he probably would have attacked the basket. I think he probably would have attacked that basket, because he knew all we needed was a basket in. And I just don't think he had that explosion, that confidence of really getting to the basket from that area. So he decided to take that shot, and that's a shot we normally take. So it's not, a shot that we don't take. So it's a shot that we normally take. We have been hitting them all night rather. And that was the shot we got. It was available. We took it, and it just didn't fall for us.
You're halfway through the season now in terms of the league. What have you learned about your basketball team? Because there's so many new guys on this team.
You learn a lot, but you're still learning. You're still learning about Ladarius. He's one of them guys, man. He has that it factor. And, everybody said that it factor. You don't know what it is. He just has it.
Yeah.
You don't have to run anything for him. He's going to get it himself. When you do run something for him, he's going to connect on it. But it's just his energy level. I haven't seen a kid with this much energy probably since Obi Trotter. And, he's going to play on both ends of the court. Right now, I think he's leading the league in scoring and in rebounding.
Right.
So when you got a guy like that on your team, you just let him play. He know when, his shot. He know when he takes a bad shot. Sometimes he take a bad shot, he'll look at me and say, my fault, but I know he's finna go down there and make up for it.
Terrific. Huge homestand. We got to have this place packed tonight for Mississippi Valley State.
We need to, because we need to get that win back on our side. We need to get it, and just to keep us in that number 4 seed. Because if you can stay in that number 4 seed, it sets you good for because you got 5 games on the road. Out of your 9 left, 5 on the road. But you want to place yourself for this tournament, and also gives you an opportunity, also gives Ladarius Tab a good shot at that Player of the Year too at the same time.
Terrific. When we come back, we'll look at the homestand with Mississippi Valley State and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Thanks for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review.
Hello, I am Pastor Troy. There are a lot of people hurting emotionally, hurting physically, hurting financially, family hurting spiritually, and there is no hurt like church hurt. If you are hurting, I got a prescription for you. Psalm 147:3 says, He healeth the broken in heart and binds up their wounds. If you are hurting, come to the Fellowship of Faith Church and experience the healing of Jesus.
Joining me now is Alabama A&M women's basketball coach Semeka Randall. The Lady Bulldogs struggled on their road trip to Texas. Coach, we talked 2 weeks ago about this 4-game span of championship basketball. Unfortunately, we've dropped all 4 of them. We got some work to do.
We really do got our backs up against the wall. But I want to point out from the Texas Southern game, I thought I was real proud of how our team played. We knew we were going into a game where we'll say they have a little bit more talent than we have in our covers right now at this point. So it was going to be a tough game to pull out on their home court. So I was really impressed that at one point we got down by, I think, 20 points. And did not have Brittany nor Janie in the game, and we got within 9 with our subs and a lot of our role players out there. So you always are seeing bright spots, bright moments within our team. It's just the fact that we can't sustain it for a long period of time, but you're starting to see some really, really good, promising moments for them. But we are lacking, before we got on here, confidence right now at this point.
Yeah, exactly. You look at this team, and look, you talked about the Texas Southern game. Let's go back to the Prairie View game. You look at that Prairie View game, and you're right there, 40-33 at halftime. Taylor Scipio makes a 3 with about 12 minutes to go in the game. You're down 3. Unfortunately, they go 27-13 the rest of the way and kind of run away from it.
Again, and I'm talking about those moments where we're not great. And the moment we had in that particular game is we had 3 transition opportunities to score, and we empty out and get nothing out of that. And then if you add, we were 12 for 22 from the free throw line, and that's uncharacteristic of us. Sure. But that hurts us because we need every basket, every freebie opportunity out there on the floor. And we're just not being able to, you know, put those baskets away. And these are chippies. It's not saying we're out making hard plays. It's just, you know, we'll go down and miss a wide open layup. So it's just a lack of confidence for whatever reason, and we're just beating ourselves up way too much.
Right now, you know, Brittany's the one that's kind of carrying the load for you guys. She needs some help. It's a situation, Janie, we know about Janie, but you know, early on teams didn't know much about Janie, didn't have much film study on Janie. Is that what's happened with Janie over the last 4 games perhaps?
I believe so. I believe now they're knowing that she wants to attack at the high post area, and so they're taking that away by they're giving her space and trying to beat her to that spot. That's where she's picked up a lot of fouls because she's charged and she's not stepped up and taking the jump shot, and she's very, very capable of making a 10 to 12, 15-foot jump shot. It's just, she's second guessing herself. Should I take this shot? Should I not take this shot? Is this shot too quick within our flowing system? And I've told her from the start, and I'll say it on national TV here, Janie, honey, we want you to shoot the basketball. We embrace you shooting the basketball. You just got to step up and knock the shot down. Like, I never get on her about taking shots. Now, there might be some other people I'm like, hey, man, that's a quick shot. We need to, you know, reverse the ball around the horn and you can get it back and look to take your shot. But for in her case and her instincts, shoot the basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you need to find some other way. Jalen came in, stepped up big in that game. She supported Brittany in that game.
Definitely did. She played extremely well, but again, we missed her in the Texas Southern game, so it's always one of these things where you think you got somebody going and they understand, and she's giving great energy on the bench in terms of staying in tune, engaged on the floor, but when she goes out there and get her time, again, there's another player that clams up under that pressure, as they would call it, and just don't really come out there and understand that how important it is that you have to play both sides of the floor. Yeah. And you got to go out there and stay with the system and what we have.
What I'm hearing from you is that you need all hands on deck every night. Yeah.
I mean, you need that when you're a team trying to figure out how to win. Teams that know how to win can take off a possession here or 2 minutes here because they just know how to rack up points and they know how to get themselves in terms of defensive stops consecutive back-to-back. And we're not there yet. Yeah. What ends up happening to us, we take off for a long period of time and we don't do anything on the offense nor on the defensive end. But then we'll come back, media timeout, refocus, get re-engaged, and we'll go on a 12-2 run. Yeah. And it's like, man, can we do that like for 40 minutes or maybe 38 minutes? Right. And we're still trying to figure that out. And I think we're one of the scary teams as we start to move forward in this because at any day, the light bulb can come on.
Exactly. Brittany has 24 against Texas Southern. Aljanese has 15. But now you got a big homestand. You got to try to make some hay now to get back in this thing.
Oh my God! Like if you don't come in with an attitude or trying to figure this dang on thing out, then I don't know what you can do right now because these are definitely games that you need to win. And we, you know, down there at Mississippi Valley, we pulled it out in the end, but they've seen film on the things that they can correct and go out there and do. If they just play hard and play with an intensity and be engaged for 40 minutes, the game takes care of itself. Yeah. It's not a game to be overthought or thinking it out way too much. It's just, all right, clean up some things that we did, and they pressured us a little bit and forced us to turn the basketball over. If we clean those things up, make shots, we win this basketball game. As long as we understand we still got to hone in on their key players. And I have to go back to the Texas Southern game. I mean, we take their go-to player and she scores 3 points. We finally figured it out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the 10 year I've been here, how to shut down a go-to player.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
When we come back, we'll talk more about Alabama A&M basketball. Thanks for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review.
Brandon lights up the court every game. Soon, he'll do it as an electrical engineer. Jordan specializes in logistics and supply chain management, on and off the field. Ashley's been schooling players at the net and student teaching in the classroom. Alabama A&M, 4 years of artistic, academic, and athletic discovery. We deliver the full university experience. Alabama A&M University. Start here. Go anywhere.
Welcome back to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. The Bulldogs host Mississippi Valley State tonight, and then on Monday night we'll host Arkansas Pine Bluff. Coach, you swept this road trip a few weeks ago, but both of these teams are playing a lot better.
Yeah, both teams are playing a lot better. Pine Bluff is going to stick with that zone. You know, we just got to be ready for them on Mondays with that zone. But tonight, Valley is going to see a scrappy team, not that big, a lot of guards, but they're going to press, they're going to run, they're going to try to take you out of what you do best. And what we got to do, we got to use our size and attack them and try to make them, you know, which I know he's probably going to play some zone, but I know he's going to try to press. But we got to attack them on the inside like we did at their place, and we got to continue to do that, and I think we'll come out with a victory.
Valley's won 2 straight, and they also, like you, they got a tough loss, overtime loss to Texas Southern.
Yeah, Texas Southern was at their place, and you know, talking to Mike in that game, that he didn't play a couple of his guys, and you know, he said Valley came out just shooting the ball at their place, and that's one thing we can't let them do. Shoot the ball. They got some shooters. They got a little guard, Washington, who's going to put it up. He may take 20 shots, but he's going to shoot the ball, and we just got to be ready to attack him on the offensive end and make him play some defense. Rakeel did an excellent job at their place. I think he had 13 points and 12 assists. So we get a Rakeel attacking him to get him worried about more of the defensive end than the offensive end. I think our chances are great.
An Arkansas Pine Bluff team, you got your first win at UAPB earlier this season.
Mm-hmm.
Been a while since A&M has swept that team.
It's been a while since we swept Pine Bluff. You know, he does a great job in that zone. A lot of teams in the conference struggle against that zone, but for the last 3 games now, we have beaten him. So we kind of came up with some things to attack that zone, but they're playing a whole lot better. I think, like you said, I think they won 4 out of their last 5. Their guards are playing great. They lead the league in steals, in which we got to be very careful of because they do a great job in that zone. We got to control that ball, but we also got to attack them at the same time. They put so much pressure in the middle of the floor and on your guards that our baseline people got to really attack that short corner.
Keys to win to sweep this homestand?
I just think our energy level just got to stay up. We got to stay focused on what we got ahead of us, and that's just, you know, winning one game at a time. And the first one will be tonight against Mississippi Valley, and that game is going to be about, you know, runs in that game, but it's also going to be about us using our size and attacking them on the interior. Pine Bluff is going to be one of those games where it's not going to be a high-scoring game. Just like at their place, we decided to just slow the ball down, you know, make them have to play defense, and also, you know, take our time and make them have to really just take their time on the offense end. You don't want them getting steals because that's what they thrive on.
You got homestand, you got the place needs to be packed. Any other keys to the game?
Like I said, I think rebounding is the key for us, you know. And then, you know, you got to keep Nick and Ladarius out of foul trouble because both of them guys, you know, they play so many minutes. They're going out for a lot of rebounds. They can't go out there and get themselves in foul trouble at the beginning of the game. And we try our best not to let them get in foul trouble. That's why we play a little zone to try to help them the first 2 or 3 minutes till they get their rhythm going, and then we'll try to play some man.
Sure. Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you, Reggie.
On behalf of Coach Willie Hayes, Semeka Randall, I'm Reggie Benson. Thanks for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review.